Every year there's people and there are blogs that are complaining about Facebook ads being more expensive. Well, guess what? They are more expensive, and guess what? They are going to be even more expensive going forward. Like, the ad prices are only going up. We can either go sit in a corner, cry about why Mark is not a friendly person, right? Or we can actually adapt and make sure we do a better job ourselves, and we don't care about those ad prices going up. Would I prefer them not going up? Sure, because if they wouldn't go up, there'd be more profit, right? But being a good businessman, being a good marketer means that even with those increased costs, you can still make it work. So what do you actually do when ad prices go up? Like, we've noticed that in some of our funnels where initially they were like super profitable, right? And over time the ad prices went up, right? Or conversions just went down. Maybe there's been ad fatigue, you know, everyone already, like, you went through your audience basically. So either way, at some point you start noticing that the money in versus money out, it starts to be closer together, right? Whereas you maybe first had like a 3x ROAS, every $1 in you get $3 out. Now all of a sudden it's like only 1 to 2 or 1 to 1.5, or even worse, it get to the point where it's actually not profitable at all, or like around that break-even point. What do? Well, first of all, always be testing on Facebook, right? Test out if there's other creative, right? Other ads that are working well. Like, don't just run the same ad over and over again. Secondly, test different audiences as well, right? As you know, at Connectio, we specialize at finding the best audiences for your Facebook ads. Make sure you test various audiences, because sometimes some audience, they just won't convert, or they are just more expensive versus others, right? Like, so always test your audiences, and overall test out everything that I call the other things, right? Like, what campaign objective works best for you, what placement works best for you, like those kind of things. But number one, test out your ad creative, test out your audience, and then test out these other things as well. But even that is just what's happening on Facebook, right? You know what? Even if your ad prices go up, like, you can try to limit that. You can try to have better ads and target better audiences, but there's only so much you can do, because Facebook is not going to give you all of a sudden like those clicks for free. It's not going to happen, right? You know where you have a lot more influence is what happens after the click, right? So you can do whatever happens on Facebook before the click, or on Instagram before the click. You're targeting your ads and all that. It's important. But what happens after the click? Because if you can actually increase your conversions there, right? There's like no limit to the amount of improvements you can make there. Like, Facebook ads, you want to lower the cost, there's a limit. They're never going to give it away for free. On your side, like the revenue per click, basically the revenue per visitor, there's virtually no limit there. There's always things you can do to improve it, right? So for example, recently we had this in one of our funnels as well, and we looked at it and I'm like, all right, so what are the weak spots? What are the steps people go through? Like, people click on the ad, people go to the landing page. On the landing page, they click on the button, then they enter their email address. When they enter their email address, they go to a video. When they watch the video, at some point, they'll be seeing an offer, right? At the same time, we're sending out emails to that person. If they actually take us up on the offer, right, they click that, they go to the checkout page. On the checkout page, they can fill out their details, they can make a purchase. And then once they do that, after that, we'll have the additional options. So like, hey, you want to have this special offer as well. And then if they take that or they don't take that, we say, thank you, awesome, thanks for your purchase. And that's sort of like that flow, right? That funnel in a nutshell. And we looked at that. We looked at the numbers and like, hey, what are the weakest links? Like, where can we tweak it? Where do we believe we can have to make the biggest impact? And we noticed, for example, some parts they weren't converting as well. So we're like, hey, let's improve that, right? Practical example, we noticed that actually not a lot of people were actually taking the upsell. We had it, we just put it there because it didn't really matter as much to us, to be quite frankly, because our ads were very profitable on the first purchase, but now ad costs went up and there were less profit in between. So all of a sudden it became more important that we would improve, we would increase our average cart value, or the value that someone would actually take. And obviously if there's more people actually taking the upsell as well, right, instead of maybe 5%, you get 15%, then obviously the average customer value goes up and there will be more margin for you. So we actually replaced the upsells as well. We changed it to say, hey, would it actually convert better? We made some changes to the checkout page. In other words, we tweak the conversions, and that's really what it's all about. Like, if you really struggle with like, hey, my ad prices are going up, my guess is that your website or your funnel doesn't convert enough. And I know it's an easy thing to say because it's not easy to get your funnel to convert well, right? But that's really where you need to put your time and attention on as well, right? Like if you don't know like how to write better copy, maybe you can find someone who can write really good copy that might increase your conversions, right? Or if you look inside your Google Analytics or whatever tracking system you use, try to find like where are people dropping off. Maybe everyone goes to your site, like after they click on your ad, and they just immediately bounce back, like they just don't continue, and that is the problem. You need to improve that part right there, right? So that's really the response you need to have when Facebook increases their prices. Don't go blame Mark Zuckerberg, like don't cry in a corner, but look at your business and ask yourself, like, how can I make sure that every visitor that comes to my website is worth more to me, right? Because if that's the case, if you can afford to spend more per visitor, it doesn't matter as much if Facebook increases their prices. Sure, we still want Facebook to be cheaper, we all do, because that way there'll be more profit for all of us, right? But even if that's not the case, improve your conversions. And obviously it goes hand in hand with all the on Facebook optimizations. Test out your ad creative, test your audiences, and test all the other things like objectives and placements and things like that as well. All right, hope it helps you, and I hope you have an amazing day. All right, cut, we're done here, let's wrap it up. Oh, well, sorry, you're still there. Well, in that case, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel where I share marketing tips, tricks, and strategies that will help you grow your business faster. So you can click on the subscribe button right now, or check out the next video. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.